Welcome to Mondays with Michael, and my next guest is
Phill Bourque, and here we are at Horror Vibes Coffee.
All right, let's get it started. Okay, Phil, we're in North Hollywood currently in the Arts District.
Yeah, we're at 5251 Lancashire Boulevard here in the Arts District, North Hollywood. And yeah, this is the coffee shop I've been working for at least like 4 years now.
Yes. All right, so tell us a little bit, how did you get here? Where are you from? How did you get here?
Well,
where are you from?
Basically, I'm from the Bohemian age. No, I'm just kidding. So I started off in Taunton, Massachusetts,
Okay.
and I've been basically working up towards moving here ever since I was young. I've always loved movies, I've always loved pop culture, and I felt like this was the epicenter of all of this. And being able to see cinema and work, be able to work on the sets, be able to meet the people that I've always seen within the screens, I've always felt that I was drawn to this place and needed to check it out for myself.
Okay.
So went to college, didn't really have the best high school grades, but then somehow got into the arts program at UMass Dartmouth. And then 4 years later, finally found my first couple of murals, and then took everything with me and moved out here.
Yeah,
So
how long you been here now?
I've been here for about 12 years.
12 years?
Senior citizen.
Oh, you're an OG now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Anything past 27, you're old. You need to be, put down at this point. So
Yeah, okay. So what kind of artist are you? Like, what's your genres? Where do you fit in this art world?
I'd
this
say
art
I'm
realm?
about, I'm all about my pop culture. I'm all about just being able to work with any kind of client I possibly can. More illustrative than fine art, and more fine art than graffiti. So I've tried to find a way to really build different types of art and continue that under this umbrella of work. So
Of Phill Bourque.
yeah, Phill Bourque original, but
OG.
it varies with every client. I feel differently every different time I do a piece. So I really try to, evolve my art in every sense of the word. Every medium, I feel as if it needs to be better every single time, and just try to challenge myself with mediums and compositions and how far I can push the content.
Nice.
Yeah.
Always pushing and striving to perfection. There is not perfection for me, but
No,
Just
there's only
eat-
time
yeah.
when you want to quit.
yeah. Oh, let's talk about that. Okay.
I never quit.
Have you ever have you ever wanted to quit, and when was that and why? Let's talk about that, because I think that's a good question. That's an answer I think every artist has thought about.
I don't think I've ever wanted to quit. I feel as if there's slow times of the year, and then there's times where you want to pull your hair out because you have so much work to do. But at the end of the day, there's no clocking in, there's no clocking out. There's only living your experience and being able to continue on as a better artist every single day. So I don't think I've ever wanted to quit. I don't think I've ever wanted to lay down and just get another job. As soon as you get off that runway, you're hitting turbulence. But then once you're above the clouds, you realize why you struggled so much.
Yeah, and it's a struggle. But I think the balance is good when it's down season. You paint in your studio. You think of new ideas. You're always creating something new, right?
Yeah. I like being a little bit of an art gypsy. I like to see different parts of the world, and just be able to see different people interact with the artwork, because every community experiences art differently.
Yeah.
And for you to come into a certain demographic, paint for them, and just show them how the process is done. There's been many times in my first couple of days of work where people are like, this needs to come down, I hate this. And then you watch the project evolve because they don't know the process.
Right.
And that's the best part about it, is showing somebody this is possible, and to show them that this can be created by hand.
Yeah, it's incredible. And your work you got a couple murals around this neighborhood too, right?
Yeah, I've been working in this area for about 10 years.
You used to live here too?
Yeah, just down the road. But
Okay.
this was my first real job. I got the job as a barista, and they hired me as a barista. And so I come in, and one of the women that was interviewing me, she ended up saying, yeah, well, we have this giant chalk wall behind us and we haven't found the artist yet to put this to work.
Okay.
And so I basically pushed myself into the door and said, I will start this for you, and before I start my first barista job, I will paint whatever we need here. And so I should say chalk, because that's what the medium was.
At that time.
Yes.
And then you kind of evolved into this horror vibe shop, right?
Yeah, there was
Tell me about your horror and the inspiration on that side, because I see a lot of, it looks to me like you're a horror fanatic, like you're obsessed, and I love it. I love horror. Trust me.
Yeah, I grew up with watching Pet Sematary way too young.
Yes.
1989 film.
Okay.
And I don't think I ever recovered from that. I think I just wanted to be scared more. So my mom grew up with the classic monsters, Frankenstein, the Wolfman, Dracula, but it eventually evolved into the slashers, and she was like, oh no, what did I do?
Yeah.
So I eventually started getting more into film, and that's where like Tarantino came in as well. I started to branch out into many different forms of art.
Yep.
And I just really enjoyed coming back to this every single time. So I should say it's my favorite genre. I've seen probably close to 90% of every horror movie ever made. And I just continued to learn and evolve with this medium. Yeah, I made this shop as personal as I possibly could, and continued to show any horror connoisseur that I can stump you. You haven't seen everything yet.
Yeah, this guy's like a horror trivia fanatic. Like you can point out every little inkling. Well, he painted it, so I mean that would be a good like little trivia thing. Maybe we'll do that.
Yeah, why not?
You can stump me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyways, okay, so let's talk about this specific place. This looks to me like it's all marker. Is that true? Is this all done by?
Yeah, this is all paint marker, and it's all done by hand.
Okay.
This is my old method. Yeah. I did this about 3 years ago, I believe. And I ended up working pretty hard on focusing on the preliminary details, and that is mainly pencil. So now I'm just able to paint straight onto the board without using pencil or any kind of erasing at all. So I think
you're a master now.
It's just manipulation and figuring out where the lights, darks need to be, and where the gradation works.
Well, this is great work. You got cross hatching. I mean, it's just incredible, man.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, how many hours do you have on this thing?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah?
Every project here has been basically 2 weeks to a month. Okay. So everything that I've done here has been evolving with the detail and evolving with the time, and trying to be as current as I possibly can. If you come in here and you're not really a horror like history buff, some of these movies aren't gonna really like retain your attention. But that's why I like to go a little bit more current, and as current as you possibly can, because there are new and blossoming horror fans that still need to feel like they're involved.
Final Destination?
It's really hard to paint a Final Destination guy, because mainly it's the deaths. I think I could put a death in there, but death itself is basically an invisible force. So trying to show that, other than just depicting, the title.
Okay.
I like to go more visual. I like to dive deep into every single horror movie and find this one specific scene and implement that into all of these drawings.
Love it. For me, I think what I love in my connection to horror is Freddy Krueger. Taught me how to control my nightmares, and actually I controlled my nightmare where I did what the heroine did in that movie, where this is my dream and I'm in control, and I stood up to the monster and I said, this is my dream and I'm in control, like a mantra. I repeated that, and the monster shrunk down to the size of a mouse and cowered away and never came back again. That was my last nightmare. So if it wasn't for Wes Craven and Freddy Krueger, I would still have a demon chasing me. So I love horror, and I feel you, man. I think horror is, people don't understand the value of horror. There's a story, there's a meaning. The artist, the writer who's creating the horror, there's a story behind the gore. There's a under kind of painting to what they're trying to speak, like a social commentary, or just it could be the artist's childhood trauma. I mean, there's so much, and I just enjoy it because I can see, like, you see past the gore, right? You see past the blood.
I see the prosthetics.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know if you guys see Terrifier. That fucking movie is terrifying, okay? And Phill introduced me to the scene where the girl's on the bed and he's got some bleach and some razor blades, man. Yeah, and salt, bleach and salt and razor blades, and that thing, that was terrifying.
Yeah.
And then with a smile on his face,
always.
With grace.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, contextually, I see the power as an artist, I see the power of horror and what it can do. So, leading to that, I want to ask you, being a horror fan, have you created, and an artist, have you created your own?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
With the blossoming business that this is here at Horror Vibes, I felt like we needed some sort of ambassador or some sort of mascot. And behind you, actually, over here, is my character Lloyd. I based him off the bartender from The Shining, but also intermixed him with the Jack Skellington kind of character. Tim Burton had a couple of really fun characters in the 90s, especially one of the beginning scenes of Sleepy Hollow where the Headless Horseman is chasing somebody through a cornfield and they are face to face with this pumpkin character. And so I felt like jagged teeth and not as procured as most pumpkin characters are. And he's also very business oriented, so he has a suit on, and he also is I guess I'll say he is a werewolf. I don't want to give that away too much because that's my special little Easter egg. Okay. He's a werewolf underneath all of this pumpkin and facade of like being a great businessman. So that was something that I always really liked, was werewolves too. So it shows the beast in everybody, and showing that everybody has something within them that is always clawing to come out.
Yeah. So do you howl at full moons sometimes?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I'm also butt naked when this happens.
Yeah, this guy. I want to ask you this question, and it's a personal question. You're a professional artist.
Try to be.
I know we all try to be. It's a grind, man. I'm telling you. But for me, I think I want you to, if I was your younger self, what's the greatest advice you would give to your younger self as an artist, as a professional artist, and like, what are the top things that you would do, like, as far as advice you would give to your younger self and those younger artists out there who are trying to make a name for themselves and try to come up? What would that advice be?
I think just go at your own speed. You have to be patient and understand that sometimes people shoot to the top without really discovering what their art's about and how they want to be interpreted.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of young artists, they're just getting their visuals down, they're getting their aesthetics down, but there has to be meaning why you're doing it. There has to be a thought process that goes into it, because anybody can copy any picture of anybody.
Absolutely.
But it's the stuff that you do around it and the stuff that you evaluate on. And you know, there's images come from all over the place. Inspiration comes from all over the place. So, you know, I'd say patience and travel. Those are my two biggest things that I've ever worked on, is to kind of see what other artists around the world are doing that you can't find on Google.
Yep.
You have to be in the same room as it. You have to feel every brush mark and every gradient and every bright color. You know, it's not as easy as you graduating college and then you're successful. It takes 5 to 10 years to really grasp what kind of artist you are.
Right.
And even every avenue kind of leads into the next. So you just need to focus on why you're doing it in here before you can do it out there.
Like, know yourself, be patient, be curious, travel, look at other artists that inspire you to inspire, because art inspires art. It's absolutely true. Like film, music, other art, other artists, it's all inspiring. And I think getting out there and being vulnerable and getting out there and calling people or experiencing and reaching out and just traveling and understanding who you like and who you want to be. I think that's the point of being an artist, is the continued curiosity. Yep. Right? The curiosity kills the cat.
Hungry.
Stay hungry, right? And I don't think for me, it's like I'm not comfortable, right? I understand what you were saying, you're only as good as your last piece, and I truly believe that in any art form. Mm-hmm. You want to produce and you want to create and get better and see progression in your artwork. And I see that you got that drive, and that's another thing I think that artists need to know. The path is unclear, but the journey is everything. But patience and living in the moment and enjoying the journey and understanding who you are and what you do and what you want, I think are imperative to success. Leading to that, what do you define as success as an artist, as a successful artist?
Waking up every day and just being happy that you're doing the job that you're doing. Because otherwise, if you're waking up every day and hoping it's Friday when it's Monday, you're already wishing that week away, when you could be really putting some work down and really enjoying the process of what it is. I'm working on a mural right now in Balboa Park.
Okay.
And it takes about a month to do. And day one, it's very intimidating because you're trying to see it in its finished stage before you even start.
Right.
And so I like to work in layers. So every layer gets worked on before the final details start. Okay. And if you're working on a scene or scenery, I always start from the sky, and then you build to the foreground.
Yes.
And that for me gives me an opportunity to let things sit on the surface. Okay, I still need to paint these figures in, but now I know the language of this piece. Gotcha. Every piece has a different language if you're doing it right. I feel as if you're continuing to do the same thing over and over and over again for the viral aspects, or just to kind of let it stick, then, I think you should challenge yourself every once in a while, because then you'll be pigeonholed as an artist later on in life, and it's pretty tough to get out of that. Right.
You really want to not, like, for me, I think as a good artist can do anything and everything all at once. Actor or actress. Meryl Streep is a good example of like taking on any character. If you took a Meryl Streep and turned her into an artist, she would be able to do anything. Same as There Will Be Blood, the actor from
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis too is a great example of becoming the character and doing whatever he does. He hasn't pigeoned himself, he can become anything. And that, I think, as an artist, that's how you continue to grow and become greater than where you were as your younger self. And that, I think that's the milestones that you take as an artist, is you continue that growth, that path, building your network, building your skill set, and creating your own opportunities, right? Because as you know, nobody's gonna call you, nobody's not gonna knock on the door. You actually have to make the calls. You got to knock on the doors. You got to create opportunity, right?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me was being in college, and then you have the weird art kids that we all are, huh?
Yeah.
But I feel as if they were living for every assignment and being in their cubicle, making their funny little cartoons. But when you don't have a professor giving you your jobs every week, you got to go out and find them. You got to find out what artist you are in the streets. Are you in a fine art gallery? Are you, working on tall buildings? It all varies, and you need to find that within yourself. Absolutely. And if you aren't putting yourself in a position where you can grow, because a lot of artists, down the Cape where I grew up, you know, they'd go to these small little art fairs. They would have these cute, you know, sailboats on the water. And, you know, if that's the artist you want to be, you can be that artist.
Yeah.
But for me, it just wasn't it. I needed more action. I needed to, you know, do something a little bit more challenging and a little bit more my speed.
Are you doing character building? Are you doing books, film? What's next for Phill Bourque?
I do have a couple of ideas for TV shows.
Nice.
And
Love it.
you know, I love a good old animation, you know, not this new Disney live action stuff, but go back to the hand-drawn stuff, because it just has so much more unifying characteristics.
Right.
When you look at something that's so digital and so ice cold with its, you know, finished product, it just doesn't really seem to have that same kind of gravity. It always just sits here on the top without really getting deeper. You know, there's something about those old Disney films that you see these characters moving around in this drawn space, and you feel the hand moving through these characters,
right,
as opposed to
the nostalgia of old cartoon films, the film where they used to do the stop animation,
and they would
right?
have to film the sound on top of the flipping on, you know, like that takes so much more work and so much more dedication to the product you're giving. I think that's why studios are going to go back to that, because, you know, all this AI stuff's coming for everybody's job, but it's up to you to use it as a tool and harness it, rather than be afraid of it and run away from it, because, you know, you lose in both aspects.
Right.
But I'd rather be more intuitive with the new process than stand alone and be, you know, this is how it's going to be forever, you know?
Yeah, well, that, I mean, I'm glad you talked about that, because for me, these are the new tools, this technology. Let's talk about that. What does that allow? What does this technology allow us artists to do? Does it let us to be more creative geniuses? Does it allow us to create? We can do film, we can do comic, we can bring anything to life now. You don't need a studio. You can do everything from your house and your laptop. I mean, it's pretty incredible. And then tell me how have these tools helped you as an artist to grow? Because as you know, time is money and we're running out of both. But how has it helped you to be efficient, more productive? Kind of tell me about these new tools and how you use them.
When I first came to a sketchpad,
right,
and I loved every sketchpad that I've ever had. I filled that thing to the rim, and then I would just put it away, start a new one.
Yeah, the
and
black books.
I think it's just very important for you to evolve. I got a tablet probably around like 10 years ago. Never went back, although I do enjoy taking my sketchpads on vacation and being able to take a scene out of something and really just, you got to do both ways, because it's either you become way too digital and then you lose that hand-drawn aspect of making those mistakes without just being like alternate delete, you know? It's you need to figure out that your hand still has mechanisms within it to create great art, rather than doing this, oh, I don't like that, I'm gonna erase it, backtrack. But you can't do that with pen and paper. Right on.
No, I agree. It's the hand drawn, that being digital with a pen tab or on paper. There's so many various processes. I see art, visual art, just like making music. Every musician I meet completely creates differently. Every artist I meet completes, their process is completely different. And that's why for me, I enjoy other artists and collaborating and meeting other artists, because understanding the process, you might learn from me and I might learn something from you. And I think that for me is powerful. And that's why artists, we need to be more collective. We need to be more unified and collaborate more and connect and build bridges. Because for me, it's tough being on an island by yourself without having a collective. It's good to know other artists and have that community. It's just,
it's good to have a line open.
Since we're here and I'm looking at all this work, I mean, this is a lot of definition. So I want to talk about, let's just get up and let's talk about from left to right, talk about this whole piece, man. It's incredible. I don't know if you guys see this, but
Yeah, so this is the third time doing this wall.
Yeah.
Before, I only used black and white, and this is my first time bringing in the red, and as you can see, it's a little faded because it's been out in the sun for a little bit, but I feel as if it was really fun to kind of bring in an extra color to bring in some more definition to all these characters. And most of these are characters from the horror genre, and I've definitely found a little bit more of my own style in the last couple of years since doing this.
Yeah.
But I can always just enjoy doing the characters that have been brought into this shop, and I like to show some love to the people that have been part of this shop for a couple of years now. I'll break it down.
Yeah, let's go. What do we got?
So
what do we got here?
We have the Joker, of course, Joaquin Phoenix. We have the Gremlins. We have Scream, Michael Myers, and then Joe Bob Briggs. He does.
Joe Bob Briggs.
Yeah, he does a horror show.
Okay.
Basically doing a commentary on some of these 1970s grindhouse films.
Okay.
And so
you got it all.
Yeah, we have our girl Vanessa. She's been in many times. She works for Bloody Disgusting. She's great. Nice. And then you have some of the more interesting ones from Sleepaway Camp.
Okay. Yep. I remember that when I was a kid.
Brain Damage, Wednesday. And yeah, we just got Girl Chucky, It, Pennywise the Clown, Stranger Things, Mummy character, Return of the Living Dead. Who do we have here?
Freddy Krueger, man.
Freddy
It's my
Krueger.
man. Basket case, bro.
Basket Case.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an old fun 80s film.
Oh my gosh, get out of here.
Huge fan of all these since growing up, and just being able to depict them and bring them some sort of love here. So this is, well, we can
the OG, the triple OG here.
Yeah, big fan of werewolves, as you already know here. Yeah. And then we have the cast from Us.
Yeah.
Stephen King, the man. You have David Desmashin. He's been a big contributor to the shop. He's in a lot of films like The Dark Knight and Late Night with the Devil. You should see that one. Just came out a couple of years ago.
Love it.
The Strangers. And then this is my character Lloyd. Feel very good about him, but he definitely needs an update.
Lloyd.
Goosebumps. Obviously, every kid grew up in the 90s, knows about Goosebumps. We have the Terrifier, Art the Clown.
Yeah, it's creepy.
David Howard Thornton's been in here many times. He's a great guy. We have Jack Skellington, Jason.
Is that Sideshow Bob? Who's that?
That is Sideshow Bob.
Yeah.
No, that's actually Captain Spaulding.
Yes, Captain Spaulding.
I wasn't gonna let him get away with that.
Rob Zombie. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
And then we have Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors. We have Tiffany from what was it, Bride of Chucky. Yeah. Up there in the top left is Hostel, one of the characters from...
you got it all, man.
Yeah, Werewolf in London. And then miss a beat. Midsommar.
Wow.
Pennywise the Clown, the Babadook here.
Babadook.
Yep. Then Predator, obviously, saw that when I was way too young. And I'll show you a fun one over here. So if you look around this is actually the Human Centipede.
Oh yeah. No way, dude. I haven't seen this yet, bro. The Human Centipede, bro. You got like 100 people.
That one's pretty fun.
That was...
And now, top over here, we have this character. He's from Smile. Absolutely horrific character.
Okay, I've never seen it yet. But...
Yep, and then this girl, she's going to be coming in from Cabin Fever January 31st, actually, for a meet and greet.
What?
So that's cool, that's cool.
That's dope, bro.
I think I'm going to do a little bit of painting outside while she's here. We have the Nun. She's been in a couple of times. We have Mia Goth from X trilogy.
Yep.
Coraline. It Follows. Get Out. Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus.
We have the first scene, or the first skit, I should say, from
Serving the
Creep
Head.
Show. You're Next. That creature from what was it? The Ritual. A couple of years back. We have the character from Beetlejuice, the head from Reanimator, Martyrs. That one's also a given. You need to see that. It will ruin your day and possibly the decade.
And then we got this.
Yeah, it's a little
tucked in,
little tagged up a little bit, but
it still looks good, man.
Yeah. So we have the clowns from Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Terror Train. Dread Central, those guys have been coming in for a while. We appreciate that. Fright Night, Cannibal Holocaust, or The Girl Through the Spike.
Cannibal Holocaust.
Another Midsommar, and then Suspiria. Megan Fox from Megan's Body.
How long did it take you to paint, just to draw this section? Just give me like an estimate, like, I'm just curious.
Around I used to sketch it, so that used to take a lot of time. Okay. So I'd probably say around like 3 to 4 hours maybe.
Right here.
And I've definitely expedited that process in the last couple of years.
So that's
we have Hatchet, Adam Green, he created this. And then we have Jason Bateman. Oh, no, not Jason Bateman. Patrick Bateman, Christian Bale.
Yep.
And then, just some zombie work. So, yeah, awesome. I mean, there's a lot in here to kind of digest.
I love it.
Let's go in here.
Let's go in.
Take a look.
All right, let's take a look.
This is where the real magic happens.
Yeah. This is the whole gallery show. All right.
Well, we'll start here at the very beginning.
Yeah, let's start here.
Painted this right here for Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yeah, let's see that.
Earlier this year.
I'm gonna take this off real quick. See that? Nice. Okay, let's talk about this show. What do you got here?
Yeah, this is I Know What You Said Last Supper. This was last year. Jennifer Love Hewitt came to me and said she wanted to do a little bit of the promo for the new movie that came out. It was the reboot. And so yeah, I gave her the design, she loved it, and then from there she came in and signed it at a later date, which is really cool. I guess that's a nice little badge of honor of sorts.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay. Well,
and then from the magnum opus, this took about a month.
The magnum opus?
Yeah.
Okay, this is terrifying. It looks three-dimensional. It's pop lock-in. Talk about what we got here, Phil. This is amazing work.
This is the first time I've ever really done a mural with paint marker, which is all in here, and then painted on top. So it kind of gives you a little bit of a different dimension from all the rest of it if it was all painted.
So the font is all paint marker,
yes.
And then the 4 in the background?
And then up there as well, that one's all paint marker. And this is the tree from Sleepy Hollow, Slender Man.
Slender Man, nice.
We have a mix of the Terrifier, Art the Clown. He came in and signed this, which is really cool.
Wow.
And then I mixed him with the mask. And then
who's the actor that does
David Howard Thornton.
David Howard Thornton.
Yeah. And then he kills Santa Claus in the third one, so I felt like that was
Santa
a nice
Claus
little...
is not real, so does he really kill him?
Oh, wow.
I mean,
wow.
No, I know. The black, the white, and the red, I think that's like classic horror for me. But I love the color. You got the color mural in here, and then you got, this is kind of the OG chalkboard kind of style you were doing here?
Yeah. This is the first time I ever put white on black. So basically, this is white marker. I didn't really know how I was going to highlight on a black background rather than a white. So this definitely was challenging, and there are some aspects that I don't really like. Just trying to figure out what the medium was going to be and how I was going to do it. This is my first time really kind of putting things in chronological order right here. As you move up, you kind of move into the more recent stuff. But yeah, if I would do it over again, I'd probably have a couple of changes to make. But this one right here, this was the first piece I ever did here. And,
this is the OG?
Yep, the OG.
I got the Evil Dead. I mean, you got Chucky.
So it's basically
you got it all.
Pennywise, Jason, Michael Myers, and Freddy all having coffee together at the midnight hour, and probably just shooting the shit, talking about kills that they've had in the last couple of hours.
And then the zombie head is that the tongue?
That is Jason's mom.
That's Jason's mom licking the
cappuccino.
The doppio?
Yeah. And then they're having coffee on a gravestone, which is Judith Myers, Michael Myers' sister.
Favorite art genre?
Favorite art genre? Graffiti.
Okay.
Even though it's probably not it.
No. Favorite color?
Midnight blue.
Love it. Favorite horror movie?
Sinister.
Favorite horror director?
John Carpenter.
Favorite horror caricature?
Art the Clown.
Favorite coffee shop?
Right here.
Yeah. All right, one more. Favorite music?
Electronic.
Okay.
It used to be hip hop, but it's changed.
Okay, so favorite musician?
Skrillex.
Skrillex. Okay.
Old school.
Oh, and then
old school Skrillex.
Okay, old school critics. Favorite artist?
Tom Richmond.
Tom Richmond. Okay. Favorite place to eat in LA?
Mendocino Farms.
Okay. Favorite place to travel?
Thailand.
Haven't been there yet. What's your sign?
Oh, Cancer.
I'm a Leo. It's all good, baby. All right, man. Appreciate you, Phil.
Anytime.
All right. This is Phill Bourque. Over and out. I'm Michael Che Romero with Vivache. Peace. This is Mondays with Michael. We'll see you on the next one.